Well, here we go. The Coaches Show, presented by Giant Seeds and Snacks. Welcome, everybody, to a new winter season here on Three Borders Sports Network and our Coaches Show. Again, welcome, and it's presented by Giant Seeds and Snacks and also brought to you on Red River Communications Cable Channel 28. So thanks to you, those of you watching on Red River Communications Cable Channel 28. I'm Joe Schreiner. He's the producer, Brian Watson. B-Dub, good evening.
I got everything going.
3 or 4 minutes late, but he got her going.
There was one thing I forgot to do, but
Yeah,
hey,
we saw that. We were watching
it's okay. Ralph was late anyway, so we'll blame it on him.
And look at there, he's still got the fancy chair. And,
I do.
And now he's got a nice microphone. And, you know, it's just
When
he's
you
getting to be the
direct,
producer guy.
when you direct and produce, you get what you want.
That's an ugly shirt, though, I must say.
Well, yeah, nobody told me it was
No,
Jersey
that one.
night.
That one.
Yeah, I know.
That one.
Nobody told me it
Yeah,
was
what
Jersey
is
night.
that?
It was Jersey Day at work today,
Oh.
so
Uh-huh.
I had to bring out the Steeler jersey.
Troy Polamalu.
That's right.
Oh, I thought it was Mean Joe Green or something.
Well, Polamalu had more hair than he
You
does.
must be a Vikings fan. You would remember the Steel Curtain when they were defeating the Vikings in the Super Bowl. You would remember that.
I remember that
Yeah.
when I was a kid.
Not
yeah.
not once, but twice. It's okay though.
Yeah, we had to live through that pain.
I guess you did.
Yeah, we did.
I guess so. That's all right.
Well, welcome everybody to our studio here on 6th Street South in Wahpeton, right behind Farmers Union Insurance, and we got Coach Ryan Brandt waiting in the wings here. He'll be up next here after we talk to Jeff Ralph a little bit here, head coach of the Husky Boys basketball squad. Jeff, welcome aboard again.
Thanks for having me. I don't know what I'm going to talk about.
Watson gets
we
all
don't
the
get to
games.
play any games.
Yeah, Watson gets them
He
all.
plays every other day. They don't play on Sunday, but I think they played every other day since December 1st. They play like 12 games. We haven't played yet.
I'll trade you some of my games right now.
Well, and in all honesty, you guys both were supposed to go to Thompson last Saturday, and the weather kind of predicted otherwise. But so you should have had one game in by now. But Jeff, let's go back. Number 17 season, is that correct?
Yep.
Number
I think
17
so, yeah.
season here with the Huskies. So congratulations on that. A 9-13 year last year in the EDC, and this year starts a whole new ball game, if you will, no pun intended. But a whole new ball game here, starting in the middle division, if you will, Class A. And so you drop down a division. Some of the B teams came up, and some other teams from the EDC stayed with us. But just your thoughts and excitement, the boys' thoughts and excitement just on the upcoming season in a new division.
Yeah, I think, what better way to start than 4 wins on Saturday?
Yeah, that's
I mean,
the
you
other
kidding
thing.
me?
Yeah.
They're always good.
Or Thompson last Saturday.
Or Thompson last Saturday. They had a heck of a year last year. So,
Yeah.
I think the whole when you break it down to the bare minimum, I think it comes down to every night is going to be competitive.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see any 50-point games or anything like that, and we've struggled through some of those. Even last year, you said we were 9-13. We were a very good basketball team last year.
Yep.
We had 8 EDC wins, and we can't even get in the EDC tournament.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's a different level there, and I think now in this league, I don't think we're going to run the table. I mean, there's not going to be any of that business. But I tell you what, I think Joe Caveney said it best. Every night we're going to get to coach the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
There's not going to be any. Okay, let's. We didn't do what we wanted to do at Davies, and now we're down 34 at half. Now let's try to win this half, or we're going to be coaching the game to win the game in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
And I think that's the whole difference, and we probably won't win all those. God, I hope we do.
Yeah.
But we're going to be in those games, and our kids are going to be competing to the end. And I think that's going to be the fun part about for them. And I think that's really what they're looking forward to is that that competitiveness, and where if you bring it every night, you're going to have a chance to win. And honestly, last year we brought it every night, and we didn't have a chance to win every night. The couple games with Red River, the one game with Davies, and I mean some of those games, we couldn't play at that level, and we gave it our best. I'm not saying that about the boys. I'm just saying, This year, it's just a different animal.
And like you said, and we can talk about it here if you want, but I was also going to talk about some of the players. But your usual powerhouses are still going to be there, even though they were in Class B last year. They're moving up to A. You got the Kindreds, the Central Casses, the Oak Groves, Valley City from the EDCs coming in. Devil's Lake, of course, in a different region, but there's still some of that competition level there.
Well, there is. I watched Kindred and Hillsborough last night, and I tell you what, Kindred goes out. Their shortest starter 6'2".
Oh boy!
I mean that's like that. That's going back to playing some teams in the EDC their size. So they're very good. Central Cass came from behind and beat Valley last night. Central Cass going to be good, defending state champs. Hillsborough, who for what I hear, they're going to be down a little bit, and they gave Kindred everything they wanted. I think ended up about an 8-point game. So there, I think, is that parity right there where, Kindred's picked to win our region, and they should be, for the kids they have and the Star Civic kid from Thompson moving in. But I think there you see it where Hillsborough, I think picks 3rd or 4th in their league in Region 2, and they're right with them the whole game.
Yeah.
So I think that's the whole thing, and I think our league is very good. Top to bottom, Oak Grove is perennially is good every year. Northern Cass has been good, and so I see it where we're going to have to play every night, and that's really for me what I'm trying to get through to our boys now is we got to play every night. We got to be ready. We have a chance to win, but if you're not ready, you're not gonna.
Yep.
And I think that's part of that learning process.
All right, so let's talk about some of those players right now, Jeff. You got some seniors coming back, and I see you added a couple to my list here before we went on the air. But let's talk about the seniors you got coming back with some experience.
I think number one, Jaden King.
Sure.
I think had averaged 7-8 points a game for us last year.
Is he about 7 foot now?
Oh, I wish. He's 6'4", though.
Yeah,
he's a big
6'4",
kid,
6'5",
and he's a lefty, and can do some things. He's a guy we're going to look at to provide some scoring for us. And, Ethan Mannock would get 12 rebounds every game. Jaden's going to have to get 12 for us now. So, I mean, we're expecting that for him. And then Cooper Klosterman, too, another post guy, senior for us that, kind of a different post player. He's more of a spot-up guy and a guy that I think, you said 17 years. I think he's the best teammate I've ever had on a team in 17 years. He's such an upbeat kid. He's always encouraging everybody, and he's always chattering, and I think just a great teammate and a kid who's kind of our glue guy. He's going to hold us together, if we're having a bad stretch. And I think those two inside. I think Noah Berge and Nick Langenwalter on the perimeter for us. I think Nick's a fantastic defender.
Yes.
You might see him on Dang Dang on Saturday.
Oh.
I think just a strong kid and a kid that can maybe handle that. And then Noah Berge, another senior who's going to step into a role, got hurt last year and he was at the point where, all right, he's going to start playing now. He's going to give us some minutes. Then he broke his arm and finished his season on injured reserve. But there's a kid who's going to get his opportunity now. And I think he's another one who he'll probably spend some time on the big kid from 4 Winds Saturday. So those guys are, I think, our main seniors. Then we have Matt Cummings, the all-state tennis player who, if you looked at him, you would say he is not a tennis player because he's a dude. He's a big, wide kid and eats up some space and a good offensive rebounder. And then Jordan Hanisch, another guard for us who can handle the basketball. And I think inexperienced, both Matt and Jordan, their last year last year was their first year playing basketball, but you know what? They're great practice players for us, and they're giving us everything they have there. And when we get a chance, they're going to play.
Before we go on to the underclassmen, Coach, I want to go back a little bit. You mentioned Cooper. I know he spent a lot of time on the JV squad last year, but I think watching him grow, and I don't mean this in a bad way, Cooper, if you're watching, or Melanie or Joe, but he grew into himself, I think. I mean, his size got ahead of him, I think.
Yep.
Personally, that's the way I see it, I guess. You talk about somebody growing into their size. I think that's a young man that had to do that. I think he's finally there. He's caught up to himself.
Yeah, he has. And he's a different kind of, we maybe label him as a post player. I don't think he's a post player. I think he's a big guard.
Yeah.
But he can go down in the post and guard Riley Sunram when we play Kindred in a couple of weeks. He can do that, and he's going to do that. He's going to be that guy. And, that's 6'8" on 6'1" or 6'2", and, Sunram's 280 and Cooper's maybe 180. So he's going to have to do some work, but he can do that.
He can.
And I think he would be up to that challenge. So I couldn't be happier with what Cooper is, how he's come through the last season.
Yep.
As essentially a bench player and a JV player, and what he brought to the table last year for us without getting any minutes.
And great cheerleader.
And then, he's just a great kid and
Yep.
just a positive guy on our bench.
All right, so let's take a look at the underclassmen now. Of course, you look at the freshmen that came up and got some varsity time last year. Braden Steffens kind of had a breakthrough season for you out in the guard position, and then of course you got Trayton and Joe Gomez as well. So
I think Braden will start Saturday for us at the point. I think Joseph is going to back him up there. Joseph, this week, we're in week 3 of practice. This week, Joseph Gomez has asserted himself as a player for us, and it's been really fun to see this week. And Coach Caveney too was like, "Wow, look at Joseph. I think maybe got back to where he got into shape where he could play a little better, and I think he's bringing some things for us. He can score off the dribble, which is really big for us. So those two there, and one you didn't mention was Bjorn Kubala. Really is shooting the ball pretty well for us, and we're still kind of looking for who's going to be that 3-point shooter. We go through a couple of years with Tyler Tollefson and 2 years with Caden Hawker, and now it's like, okay, who's it going to be?
who's that guy? Yeah.
I don't know if we know yet. I really don't, but I think Noah could be that guy. I think Bjorn could be that guy.
Sure.
Trayton has shot it pretty well this year so far. But we're kind of searching for that. Braden's really shooting it well too, and that's not really his game. He's a penetrator guy, and as a point guard, we like him to do that. But he can spot up and hit the 3 too. So those guys, I think really a good group of guards that we have in Braden and Trayton and Joseph and Bjorn, and then you throw Noah in there, and you know what? Those guys are looking to establish themselves, and I think we got. Carter Hawker, a sophomore, kind of waiting in the wings to see where, where's he going to fit. And I think he's another kid who's just kind of figuring out how hard he has to play. And once he gets that, he's going to help us somewhere down the line too on the varsity this year.
That was going to be one of my other questions was, is there any other underclassmen that you're thinking of? And you mentioned, of course, Bjorn and Carter Hawkert. So I guess a couple of guys.
And I think Landon Ralph will play.
Oh, sure, he will.
He's kind of our backup for Cooper and Nick.
Sure.
Or Cooper and Jaden. They're going to get the minutes, but Landon will get those minutes where one of them needs a break, and it might be 6 minutes a night. But if it's 6 minutes a night, he's got to give us 6 good minutes. So.
Or foul trouble.
Those things. So and that's our, that's a size problem again, where we're just not very big when you look at someone like Kindred or Central Cass with the Holzer kid at 6'7" on the perimeter. We just don't have the 6'7", 6'8" guy. But I think this game Saturday, Deng Deng is 6'4", but he's kind of a swing player too, a guy who plays outside. So I'm not really that worried with having to defend a 6'7" guy inside on Saturday, but it's going to come sometime, and then we're going to have to see what we can do with these guys.
Yeah, it's going to be at the Husky Gymnasium here, and the Huskies will host Four Winds Minnewacan. Let's see, what time does it start?
4:30.
4:30. Okay, so it's 4:30 tip, and Brian will have that on Three Borders Sports Network as well. So I personally am looking forward to it. I unfortunately have another commitment I need to be at, but. Good luck to you guys.
It's going to be fun.
It is.
I think I hope the house is jam packed to the rafters, just with the fact that it's a new league, but everybody when you watch the state tournament, Four Winds is a team that's there.
Yep.
And when you watch that B tournament, I think they're an exciting crew to watch, and I'm excited to see what my guys can do against them.
And I'm sure they travel well. B-Dub, you got anything for the coach there before we let him go?
No, I think it's going to be fun. Our games have been attended very well here, the ones that we've had at home, and I think we might be worried about if we have enough room in the gym for this game on Saturday. I think that's some of the fear. So hopefully it is well attended, and people come out and watch. I think they're going to get a good basketball game.
Well, you guys will both have a good seat, so you'll
we
have
will.
a good spot to watch that game.
It's going to be fun.
Hopefully he stays in his seat.
Then you got Lisbon, and then a former EDC foe, Shanley, will be coming down here, and you guys both play them on Shanley. You guys both play Shanley on December 30th.
Yeah, we got to talk to McCall about that.
We're not, whatever. It is what it is. We'll play whoever we play, but we'll see.
Yeah. All right, Coach. Good luck on Saturday to you and the boys, and appreciate you coming in tonight.
Thanks.
And,
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you. And Jeannie said to say Merry Christmas to you guys, too, as well.
I'm assuming my gift is in the mail.
It's in the mail.
All right, I appreciate that. Yeah. Yours is too.
Well, my wife got me this nice pullover, and I was thinking, I get your wife would never buy you something like this. It's not an Armani suit coat or nothing. I just wear a glamorous T-shirt to a game, but
sure,
so
glamorous T-shirt.
I got no comment on that.
All right, we're going to take a break. Thanks again, Jeff, and good luck to you and the boys on Saturday and your first game, the season opener, if you will, because the Thompson game was postponed. But again, good luck to everybody.
Thanks, Joe.
All right, we'll be right back with head coach of the BW Storm wrestling team. That's Ryan Brandt waiting in the wings. Grace also walked in, so we'll talk to her after we're done with Ryan. So we'll be right back after these messages right here on Three Borders Sports Network.
Car. It might not have been perfect, but that didn't matter. You loved it because you worked hard for it. You took care of it, and it took care of you, your friends, and maybe that someone special. And through it all, we were there working with you, for you, to make sure it was a smooth ride. Then and down the road. Farmers Union Insurance. More choices, great rates, local agents.
Every business begins with an idea. With dedication, hard work, and high-speed broadband, that idea can grow into something giant. The member organizations that form BAND are proud to support North Dakota businesses every step of the way, from the soil to the stadium. The Broadband Association of North Dakota, helping North Dakotans grow bright ideas into big business.
Smith Motors in Wahpeton, we make sure that when you need a vehicle, we'll find the perfect one that matches your lifestyle and budget. Like the eye-catching Chevy Equinox, the powerful, always dependable Chevy Silverado, or the rugged, hard-working GMC Sierra. Since 1960, Smith Motors has provided an excellent automotive buying experience. From low-pressure sales to high-quality service, our customers always come first. Find your new Chevrolet or GMC today at Smith Motors. Small town friendly, big town deals.
Farmers, be ready this planting season by contacting Yield Advantage for all your seed and planting equipment needs. They carry high-quality products from Precision Planting, Intelligent Ag, Copperhead Ag, Outback Wraps, Ware Parts LLC, Midwest Seed Genetics, and more. Yield Advantage can help your planter from basic service parts to liquid fertilizer setups. All of the latest technology and often significantly less than buying a new planter. Be ready to hit the field by contacting Yield Advantage 218-517-7878 or online at yield-advantage.com.
All right, welcome back to the Giants Coaches Show, presented by Giant Seeds and Snacks, and also brought to you by Red River Communications and Cable Channel 28, our own cable channel on Red River Communications. If you have Red River Communications cable, we're on Channel 28 on most of our live events. I'm Joe Schreiner. He's Brian Watson, and we're about ready to go with head coach of the BW Storm Wrestling, none other than Ryan Brandt. Ryan, welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
Back to a winter season of wrestling again, and you guys have been busy.
Yep.
Before I get started here, this is your fifth year.
Yep.
I thought it was your third, and here I'm sitting here dreaming away, and it's your fifth, you said.
Yeah, fifth year.
So fifth year as the Storm wrestling coach, and I think the first year, wasn't it the first or second year you had just Wahpeton?
Yep, it was my first 2 years where you were just Wahpeton, and then my third
Maybe
year
that's
we
what
became
I'm
the
thinking.
co-op. Yep.
Third is the co-op. Okay. That's where I was thinking, B-Dub. That's where I was wrong. Okay. Give me credit for that.
I'll give you credit for being wrong.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
All right, you've had a busy season, buddy. I'm just looking at your schedule here, just taking a look at the EDC, and let's go back a little bit. You heard me talking with Jeff Ralph there, and of course Brian. They're in a new division. You have not moved anywhere. You're still in the EDC.
Yep. We unfortunately don't have enough teams. I think even in wrestling in the state of North Dakota, even move to 3-class system for that matter. And even if we kind of did move there, Class B teams there's at the top. They're still just
tough.
as good as the Class A teams. So moving a class for us really doesn't benefit us. And with the co-op with Breck, we actually would still be stuck in that top tier class because we have to take enrollment from both schools.
Okay, so let's take a look here at the EDC standings right now. You're 1-1 in the EDC and 3-4 overall. So almost a 500 season so far early. 7 different matches that you've got. You started out with Davies. At home, actually, I think that was in Breckenridge that night,
Yep.
If I remember correctly. Then you had, then the next thing you did was host the Dan Unruh tournament here in Wahpeton.
Yep.
And how many? 12 teams were at that?
Yeah, we had 12 teams. We actually lost a couple last year, and then I kind of went out and started trying to find other teams to replace them, and then we had some other teams just kind of reach out to us and that wanted to join. So this year, we kind of had I thought it was a tougher tournament than what we've had in years past. We added Fargo Davies, we added Valley City, and we added Long Prairie out of Minnesota, who was a state competing team last year.
Wow.
So our tournament, I thought, was really good as far as the competition and the level of kids that were getting there. So.
Who ended up winning that tournament? if I
Long
may ask?
Prairie did.
I haven't seen an article on it yet or anything,
Yep.
but Long Prairie did
Long
win
Prairie
it.
ended up winning it, yep.
Okay. And then you came back home on at Breckenridge High School, and you took on Valley City, and it was a nice 42-29 win. So congratulations on
Thank
that
you.
one.
Thank you.
So how did the boys do? Any special events there you want to talk about there in a 42-point victory?
Yeah, I made the comment it was the first time I've beaten Valley City since I've been a coach here. Because when I came here, they were kind of right in the peak of their really good team that they had. So it was really nice to finally get a win over them. But they still have some really good kids on their program. And their program's pretty young now, so they're kind of going through what we were kind of going through there for a little while. But no, it was really good. We wrestled really well top to bottom. We started off with Xander Jensen, who's a brand new kid on our team this year. As far as like first year of wrestling varsity, he's been a junior high kid last year. And he went out there and got a nice win for us to start the duel. A kid who's been wrestling really good for us is Tyler Birchall. He's kind of hit that growth spurt that we didn't see last year out of him when he was a 7th grader. And this year he's kind of coming out a little bit more aggressive and kind of going after kids, which is really nice to see. So he got a nice pin for us at his weight. And then Valley City's open a couple weights, so we had a couple forfeits there that we picked up.
Okay.
Coleman Bart's been wrestling really tough the last couple of weeks for
Senior,
us.
right?
Yep, him and Weston Jensen are my 2 seniors. And Coleman has been, like I said, he's been wrestling really tough for us. He's kind of figured out how to wrestle when he gets tired now, which is something that he was missing last year and that we tried to really hone in last year on him. And it's starting to click for him this year, and you can see it out there. I mean, his record isn't the greatest, but he's also wrestled a lot of really tough kids, but his overall wrestling of what we've been seeing has been better this year. So he got a win for us. Riley Kappas came back this year from a broken elbow last year, and he's been wrestling tough. He's been wrestling a lot of really tough kids as well. Weston Jensen got a nice pin for us as a senior. He's kind of our guy that goes out there and gets our pins for us. Henry Sledadal, he's been wrestling really well for us as well.
He's a youngster.
He's only a sophomore for us as well.
Yep.
And he practices with David every day in the room. And in the room, you can see those two just going at it, butting heads. And then when he goes out there against somebody who's actually his size, he kind of just moves them around and pushes them around wherever he wants. So him wrestling David in the room, you can see is improving his overall mat experience and stuff. And then David obviously is kind of our hammer up top.
Yep.
We ask him to do quite a bit for us up there. We bumped him up to 189 like we did this last weekend, and we have him wrestle its normal weight of 172. So we kind of put him on tough kids so we can try to get the wins and try to take their wins away from their good kids. So
yeah, and he's a sophomore as well.
Yep, he's a sophomore as well.
Yep. All right. Then you went up to Grand Forks this past weekend on the 8th and 9th and had a tournament up there and come away with a couple of team victories there against, Jamestown and Valley City.
Yep.
again. So you got to play against Valley City again, almost the same exact score too.
Yep. Yeah, we went up to Sertoma. We had a first round. We had a really tough team in Staples Motley. They ended up winning the whole thing in the end. But our kids went out there and we just didn't roll to our backs. We fought in every match. We knew it was going to be tough, and we knew how good they were. So it was good to see our guys go out there and fight against them and do the best that they could against them. And then we got Jamestown after that, and Jamestown's kind of having a little bit of a down year, but it's still one of those things in this sport of wrestling, and basically any sport, even basketball. You can't overlook your opponent no matter what, because all it takes is a couple matches, and the next thing you know is we're losing. So like my message was to them, hey, we still got to go take care of business. They might only have 10 kids, but if they win 7 matches, we still lose.
Right.
So we went out there and we took care of business against Jamestown, which was really good to see. And the same thing, Valley City the next morning. We didn't want to overlook them either, because we were like, we know they're going to try to move kids around and try to get better matchups to try to beat us today. And they did do that. They ended up winning 1 or 2 matches differently, but then we ended up winning a couple matches that we didn't win the night before against them. So that was really good to see us kind of respond there. And then we had a really tough duel against Foston Bagley in the Consolation Championship match, that if there's 2 matches that flip, we end up winning that duel compared to them winning it. So we wrestled
That'd
really
have been good to get it. That would have been a nice win for the guys.
It would have been, yeah. Our kids,
and you.
Yeah, our kids are wrestling really tough right now. We're really happy with what we see. The last 2 years we've really focused on our technique with them, breaking it down to really simple things again, because I thought we kind of got away from that, and starting to show. Our kids are really technically sound. They're doing all the basic things correct, and we're not really trying to be flashy or anything like that. We're just trying to take care of business out there.
Individually, some of the guys did pretty well at tournaments. Just want to highlight some of the guys there. I know you talked about David and Weston. How did they do individually? Because it wasn't just team events, correct?
No, it was only a team tournament.
Oh, it was only a team tournament.
But I can talk about how they did there. Like David, I know went undefeated for us. I think Weston went 3-1 for us. Henry, I believe, went 3-1 as well. Coleman, I think, went 2-2 for us. Jordan O'Reilly Kappas, I think, went 3-1 as well. Tyler Birchwell, I think, went 2-2. Garrett Schwartz went 2-2 for us. He's another kid who has been coming out of practice or coming in and out of every season that we've had. And this year, he's kind of been able to stick to it. And he's been doing really well for us up top at heavyweight. He's a pretty big kid. He's pretty aggressive and he's pretty strong. And we knew that in football. It was just a matter of keeping him out for wrestling. And this year he stuck it out, and he's been a really bright spot for us up there as well. So,
all right, and then looking forward here, Coach, you got Grand Forks Red River coming up tomorrow, the way it looks, huh?
Yep.
And that's at, is it here?
No, it's at Red River. We get to go back to Grand Forks again.
It says home/away, so I thought, I wonder what that means. But that's what I saw on the EDC website anyway. And then you got a tournament on Saturday again back in Valley City.
Yeah, actually, only our girls are going to that.
Okay.
Yeah, so our boys, we're not taking our boys up there this year. We had to add like Central Cast to ours because Central Cast came up in wrestling. To Class A for wrestling this year, so we had to add them to our schedule. So that kind of bumped some tournaments around, and we ended up dropping the Valley City one for our boys. But our new girls team, they're going to go out to Valley City.
Can we talk about the girls?
Yeah, we can talk about them. Yeah.
Yeah. So I did see that on the. I didn't even know it until I saw it on the EDC website that you guys had a girls team.
Yep. We have 3 girls that came out this year. We had a couple other ones interested, but we ended up getting 3. We have 4 next year in our youth program that'll be 7th graders. So next year we're hoping that at least we have 7.
Wow.
Because you need 8, I believe, to have a dual team.
Okay.
So right now our girls can just do individual matches and individual tournaments and things like that. But yeah, no, we had 3 come out, and they're pushing it and they're working really hard in practice. It's Grace Kozowski, who's a sophomore, Cameron Reby, who's a sophomore, and then Claire Lathrop, who is a freshman.
Okay.
And like I said, they're battling tough. It's a learning experience, and we kind of told them that coming into it. We're like, this is going to be a little bit different than anything else you've probably done before.
Yeah.
And they kind of just smiled and said, okay, let's go.
All right. So if I may ask a question, because I did see a coach's name on that page as well, but are you still kind of overseeing the whole project, and then Trayton takes – how does that work as the coaching part of it for the girls?
This year, it's pretty much like it's Trayton's team.
Trayton Hout, right?
Yeah, Trayton Hout. He was one of my assistants for the last couple of years here, and he's been an assistant at Breck before that. But he's the girls' head coach. Dan Frames helping him along as well with some of like the coaching stuff and like going to stuff with the girls and like helping them there. Then I'm kind of helping him with some of like the online, like behind the scenes, like head coaching, like paperwork and all that fun stuff that we have to do.
all that headache. B-Dub, you don't know nothing about that, do you? All that kind of headache stuff. But, yeah, go ahead.
I don't like that part of it.
No, that's no fun.
I like to leave that
stuff's
part
a
out.
headache.
Coach Brewer helps me with a lot of that stuff.
Yeah,
so.
that's Lakin or Rod?
Rod.
Yeah, okay. All right, Coach. Well, that's pretty cool. That's congratulations on the girls' team, and hopefully it keeps growing from there. So
yeah. We're
good.
hoping that it gets. We're hoping, like I said, 7 at minimum next year is what we're hoping to keep, and then hopefully that just encourages more girls to come out for it.
Dumb question on my part. Announcer guy should know this. Will the girls ever wrestle at home here, or was there ever a chance of them wrestling here in Wahpeton or Breckenridge?
Yeah. So when we dueled Valley City, they wrestled kind of just like on our extra like mat that we have like our JV junior high kids wrestle on.
Okay.
Just because they don't have a dual team setting yet. Once they get like enough girls to come out for a dual team, they'll be able to have their own home duels.
Okay.
Kind of like what we have for varsity, and they'll kind of be their own thing then. But for right now, it's like when we have our home duels, they'll wrestle on the mat like at the same time as like JV junior high and things like that before the varsity duel happens.
Oh, okay.
So.
All right. Well, that's good. Well, congratulations on that. You got anything else you want to add there, Coach, before I turn you loose?
No.
All right. Ryan Brandt, head coach of the BW Storm wrestling team. We got Grace Brandt sitting over in the wings there, sitting on the chair. And after Grace, we'll have Jordan Christensen here, and then we'll talk to B-Dub here about his Lady Huskies. That's the rest of our schedule. Ryan, again, thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me again.
All right, buddy, we appreciate you coming in here. And we'll be right back with Grace Brandt, head coach of the BW Storm gymnastics squad, coming up next.
Local insurance team ready to serve you. American Family Insurance, Miller & Associates, providing home, auto, life, farm, and business insurance. As residents of your community, they understand how important it is to be there for you, their trusted friends and neighbors. Together, they're building strong partnerships that help everyone succeed. American Family Insurance, Miller & Associates, a proud supporter of high school athletics.
And we hope to see you at American Family Insurance, Miller Associates.
Since 1941, Minn Kota Ag Products has been helping farmers with their agricultural needs. The farming industry has expanded at great lengths, and Minn Kota Ag Products is there to provide farmers with their entire chemical, fertilizer, seed, and grain elevator needs. They also offer deep band tillage, chemical application, and fertilizer application, just to name a few. For market access at your fingertips and information essential to your farm operation, download the Minn Kota Ag Products app. Minn Kota Ag Products, proud to be a partner in your farm operation since 1941.
Have you ever considered chiropractic for your family? Dr. Andrea and the staff at Hornstein Family Chiropractic love to see families. With 16 years of experience seeing brand new babies, pregnant women, toddlers, teens, athletes, she cares for your family like it's her family. Join Hornstein Family Chiropractic at 715 Dakota Avenue in Wahpeton, and we will help your family grow up healthy. Call 701-672-1300 for the next soonest available appointment, because at Hornstein Family Chiropractic is a family affair.
Thank you, Andrea.
Insurance is an important safety net for your family, your home, and your business. Carlson Family Insurance Agency is your local auto owner's insurance provider. At Carlson Family Insurance, they work for their clients, not the companies. Customer service and satisfaction is their #1 goal. Give Carlson Family Insurance a call for all of your personal, farm, business, and crop insurance needs. 701-672-6002 or at cfiagency.com. Carlson Family Insurance, your auto owner's insurance agent.
Powerful and playful. Delicate and precise. Bold and carefree. It's the way you move, and it moves us. To deliver care for your whole family. To provide options beyond the expected. To help you leave pain in the past and find your way forward. Orthopedics and sports medicine at Sanford Health. Health lives here.
I'm Katie with First Community.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Coaches Show, presented by Giant Seeds and Snacks, and also brought to you by Red River Communications and Red River Communications Cable Channel 28, our own specified cable channel. We're on Cable Channel 28, B-Dub.
28, I like that.
Yep.
I was hoping for like a 3 or 33 or whatever, but hey,
yeah,
we'll take what we can get.
Yep.
So I'm happy.
We're all right with that. We're right next to Big Brother ESPN, so if you flip up one channel.
I don't do that.
No, never do that. All right, buddy. We got the BW Storm Gymnastics coach, Grace Brent. Welcome back again for your second year.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
I appreciate you coming in and being a part of the show here, Grace, and appreciate you taking time out of your week here to do this. All right, let's just take a look here. The gymnastics squad. How do I want to start this? I was going to ask you. It's a small EDC group of teams, correct? I mean, last year there was only 4 or 5, right?
4, and we still have 4 this year.
And still 4 this year.
Correct.
All right, so name the 4 teams for us, if you will.
It's Breckenridge, Wahpeton,
Yep.
Valley City, Fargo, and Grand Forks.
So Fargo is all one. So it's not
Correct.
Davies, it's not Shanley, it's
Fargo North, South, Shanley, Davies, and then there are talks about West Fargo, Cheyenne, Horace, and the whole West Fargo school district co-oping again with Fargo. At one point, they
with Fargo.
Correct. So all of the Fargo, West Fargo area would be considered Fargo Gymnastics.
Okay, so 2 quick questions, simple answers. So how many girls are out for the BW Storm Gymnastics team?
4.
4. I was thinking it was 5, but it's 4. All right, so now how many girls are out for the Fargo Gymnastics team?
6.
Really?
Correct.
See, that just blows me away. I don't know about you.
I find that hard to believe.
Isn't that something?
Really, I really do.
And they want to co-op with West Fargo besides.
Yes, the interesting thing about gymnastics is something that I think we're experiencing in a lot of high school sports currently. We're seeing this trend of club sports overtaking the high school season, and there's a lot of
problem. Yeah.
It really is, and I think basketball is a really unique opportunity to discuss that problem. You have JO volleyball that takes place over the winter, and you have all of these different club and 16 and 18U teams for sports like volleyball and basketball and even hockey.
Yeah.
The same exists for gymnastics, and what's really interesting is a lot of our students get scouted for college scholarships for things like track and football and basketball and baseball. But for gymnastics, if you do high school gymnastics, there's not a college offer for you. You have to do JO, USAG, the club level gymnastics to get those D1, D2, D3 offers. And so we're seeing club gymnastics take a really large base of athletes away from this high school season, from this high school opportunity.
Yeah, we struggle with it. We struggle with, having girls stay out for basketball and, not play another sport. We have, there's sports that go on year round. So even AAU basketball is going on. You got JO that's going on. You have softball that's going on.
Yeah.
It's tough. And, a lot of people say, well, a school your size, you should have this or that or whatever. I think all the schools in the state, and I think a lot of the sports, especially the winter sports, are struggling to have athletes out just because of club sports that are going on.
Wow. That just amazes me, Grace, that there's only 6. I mean, maybe it doesn't. I just find it.
I do. I think that's a really low number considering the sizes of the schools that are in Fargo. I mean, I think that's incredibly low for a sport like that. You feel like there'd be a lot of interest in it, FM macro team, stuff like that.
There's a ton of girls that do gymnastics in Fargo and a ton of people who travel to Fargo to do gymnastics. I mean, we even have families in the Wahpeton Breckenridge area that go to Fargo for gymnastics because they have these higher level JO club opportunities.
Sure.
But there's not an ability to compete JO and high school at the same time.
Sure.
I mean, it's the same thing if one of your basketball players goes out and plays in an AAU tournament on a weekend, they're benched for 6 to 8 weeks. And we actually have some girls actually in the state of North Dakota right now who are playing kind of this numbers game. If I compete for a JO meet on December 20th, can I be eligible to compete for my section for EDC, for WDA, and then still qualify for state? And it's something that coaches, are also doing. They're figuring out the numbers game.
Because they want the numbers.
Yeah. They want the college offers. They want to continue to be a level 10 JO gymnast for the United States Gymnastics Organization. They're trying to have the best of both worlds. Unfortunately, you can play the numbers game, but it's just not something that our girls do. I think the beauty, though, of high school sports is there's camaraderie on a very different level. We really do foster, I think, the total person's development, whether that's, through teamwork or sportsmanship or creating leaders. You're learning how to work in a group that you're going to school with and you're interacting with, I think, on a more consistent basis than some of these club sports. And that's something that I would really hate to see lost in the state of North Dakota.
Yeah, there's a different sense of community when you're on a high school team. There's a different feel to it, and your fans and things like that. It's a totally different experience. And me being a former high school athlete, I don't think there's anything like it. Like AAU wasn't as big when I was growing up. It was just high school. And I just think that high school experience, everything that comes with it, the fans, the school, the community, all the things that you get from it, it's just totally different. And we say, it's life lessons through basketball. Same thing with any other sport.
Right.
That's a high school sport, and I think there's a lot to take from it.
We created a whole nother TV show here.
We kind of did, didn't we?
I'd be happy to come back and continue to discuss.
Man, a whole nother topic. It just amazes me. But anyway, we'll get back to the BW Storm Gymnastics squad. You got 4 girls, a couple of seniors, I think you have. So let's talk about the girls themselves first.
Yeah, it's a really exciting season that we have coming up this year and that we're already, a couple weeks into. We have 4 girls on the team. Sydney Gilbertson and Haley Hansen are both seniors, so half of our team this year are seniors. And then we have Justice Christian, who is a 10th grader at Breckenridge, and Elise Scovalt, who's a 9th grader at Wahpeton. So we're a perfect split, 50-50, WAP, Breck, seniors, underclassmen. It's kind of a fun team dynamic to have. There's been a lot of leadership qualities that I've seen in our seniors. They've both really stepped into this leadership role of being seniors, of being team captains. I haven't had to necessarily push or nudge them into it. They've really come into their own, so that's been a wonderful contribution to our team. Our underclassmen are still showing really strong numbers, and I think the interesting part about having a team of 4 girls this year is that when we go to meets, your team score is your average of all of your events, but it's the top 4 scores at each event, which means every girl's score counts at every area of competition, which has really pushed us to be on our A game every time we go to the vault, to the beam, to floor, to bars. It's a different mindset, I think, this year when we've gone to meets. And I think it's also been helpful that it's my 2nd year coaching this group. I've been able to build some really good camaraderie and rapport with the girls. But we've had some really good meets. In Sisseton, this has been our only meet all year. It was our first meet late November. The only meet where we had all 4 girls compete. We currently have one girl out with a concussion, but we had all 4 compete, and we placed 2nd by 4/10 of a point. So with 4 girls against Sisseton's 16, we're within 10ths of a point of other teams and their scores.
And they can take the 4 highest, and you've got to take the 4 you've got.
Exactly. We have to work with what we have. And so it, like I said, it just kind of creates a different mentality. But we have some really good placements out of all of the girls. Elise is a consistent bars placer for us. Haley is again consistent this year on both floor and vault. It's been great to see Sydney's beam scores this year. She's really consistent. She stays on the beam well. Sometimes I ask her if there are magnets in her feet. But our all-around scores are looking really, really positive. We did a huge marathon of a meet. We had 3 meets in 5 days last week. We went from way out west to back in the east. We were in Dickinson. We were in Sisseton. We were in Bismarck. And it was the most meets the girls will have until we get to state. But we got really good feedback to start the year. Seeing score sheets, seeing critiques and deductions, we know exactly what we need to work on for the next month.
So you've also got some miles put on in a van or a vehicle, whichever you travel in. And then last night you were in Jamestown for another one.
Correct. We had another meet last night. We only had 3 girls competing, and so our team score was 88.9. But that's exactly where I anticipated us to be with only 3 scores. But even with 3/4 of our team competing, they're still in really high spirits. They're still really supportive of each other. Things are looking good. We're continuing to work on new skills, continuing to fine-tune our technique, really focusing on injury prevention and building really strong joints throughout practice. But we're really looking forward to our meet on Friday in Mandan. And then next week, we actually have our home meet on Thursday night.
I was going to say that on the 21st.
Yeah, so if anyone is available and you want to see some really cool flips and tricks, stop on by Three Rivers Gymnastics. 5:30 is going to be kind of our official time when we're going to be on events.
Okay.
Things are going to get rolling, and it's also our senior night and our parents' night. So if you want to come out and help us recognize both Sydney and Haley, feel free to stop by. It's going to be a really good night.
I'm going to ask a dumb question. Is there admission? Just like any other high school event?
Correct.
Okay.
Same admission if you were to go to a basketball game.
Passes work.
Passes do work. Yep. If you have your EDC pass, it will be honored at the door.
I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I might have to try that myself. B-Dub? You up for some beam action? You got magnets in your feet?
Magnets in my feet.
That's what
No,
she said.
I think I would be a bars kind of guy.
Would you?
No, not even close.
Not a floor guy?
No, and definitely not a floor guy, that's
All
for
right.
sure.
All right, Grace, you got anything else you want to add? Again, the 21st, we're not going to have another coaches show next week because
I'm
got
busy.
Brian's got other commitments here, his civic duty that he's got to do next Wednesday night. So we aren't having a coaches show. So we want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas as well to you and Ryan. And then make sure everybody goes out and cheers on the girls December 21st.
Correct.
In the 2 seniors.
Yeah, we're really excited. It's going to be a great meet. We actually have we'll have 4 other teams coming to the meet. So it's going to be a 5-team meet, biggest meet I think we've seen in that gym in, I'd say the last 3 or 4 years. So we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a great night.
When you
Stop
travel,
up.
what do you take? They let you take a bus or do they put you in a van?
I drive the Suburban. So we pack everyone
There's a school
in.
Suburban.
Correct. Yep,
Okay.
the school Suburban. I drive, so we drove all the way out to Dickinson, stayed the night, drove
With 4
to-
teenagers, that's got to be a fun ride.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, you know.
Who chooses the music?
I let the girls DJ, which always makes for an interesting mix. I never fall asleep.
Brian, you ever let the girls choose the music for you?
We have a different, well, I don't know if it's a problem, but there's a lot more girls and they like to sing.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
Not something I've experienced.
No. Well, we'll just leave it at that. You get up and do some karaoke yourself then? Or?
No, it's, yeah.
That'll come.
Yeah, they like to sing.
Well, again, good luck out in Mandan on Friday. Again, you guys are putting on some miles, Grace, and just be careful and be safe out there. And then on the 21st, you're at home.
Yes, thank you so much. We look forward to it.
All right, happy holidays. Grace Brandt, the head coach of the BW Storm Gymnastics. We'll have her back on our next coaches show, too, as well. But waiting in the wings right now is Jordan Christensen. He'll be the Cowboys basketball coach coming up next right here on Three Borders Sports Network.
And we're here with Dakota Dirt Coffee.
We chose First Community Credit Union because first and foremost, they're right in our community of Milton, North Dakota. And the convenience of that and being able to know the people that we're dealing with, that's something that we can't get anywhere else. I would say FCCU could be best described as a full-service financial institution that's offered and available in a local community.
At Interstate Engineering, our business is about connections. We connect people to water, communities to counties, and counties to the rest of the world. Our work connects main streets to interstates, and yesterday with the potential of tomorrow. With over 40 years of connecting, our experience and expertise are thanks to the clients we have earned, the trust we have built, and the connections we have made. Interstate Engineering, the professionals you need, the people you trust.
Getting you back to what you love. We are Optimum Rehab. For over a decade, Dr. Tony Eggeman has provided physical therapy services for the people of Wahpeton, Breckenridge, and surrounding communities. We're a small practice that sees our patients as individuals. Through hands-on techniques, our patients have their treatment plans tailored to their exact needs. Sprains, sore muscles, back pain, achy joints, rehab following surgery, you name it. Optimum Rehab is your answer. When you need exceptional physical therapy, you need Optimum Rehab.
Comdell Innovation is now hiring production technicians for a variety of shifts with opportunities to make $20 or more per hour. Work in a clean, climate-controlled facility. Second shift, 4 10-hour days, every weekend off, 3:30 p.m. to 2 a.m., and 4-crew rotation, straight days, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., or straight nights, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Apply in person or online at ComdellInnovation.com. Comdell Innovation of Wahpeton, an employee-owned company.
Since 1987, Red River Valley and Western Railroad has served North Dakota and Minnesota with over 500 miles of track. Red River Valley and Western handles shipping, freight car repair, storage options, and now transload services. With over 30 years of experience in the railroad industry, they know dependable service is what you strive for. Red River Valley and Western is proud to be a part of the community since 1987. Founded in
See, that song, that intro reminds me of something, and I can't. I think it's a Fleetwood Mac song, but it's not, obviously, but it sounds like it. Welcome back to the Coaches Show, presented by Giant Seeds and Snacks. Also brought to you on Red River Communications Cable Channel 28, our own specified, specific, what am I trying to say, B-Dub?
Our own channel.
Okay, thank you. On Channel 28.
I like to keep it simple.
All right, just keep it simple, Joe. All right. So anyway, we're on Cable Channel 28 on most of our live events, and are we going to be on 28 tomorrow night too?
Tomorrow night we will be on 28.
Yeah, so we'll be on 28 tomorrow night for the Cowboys and Trojans, a Highway 9 battle that is reinstated again for 23-24, but we'll talk about that more as we're joined now by head coach of the Cowboys basketball squad, coming off a nice win last night, and we'll talk to Jordan Christensen about that here in a second. But first of all, let me say welcome, and thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Back
My
at her.
pleasure.
Appreciate you coming back in again and spending some time with us here in our new digs. And Jordan, again, congratulations on a nice win last night. You had another home win, so you got 2 wins at home, 2 games at home. And let's go back to the Battle Lake game a little bit here. I know you probably don't have that page brought up in your scorebook there, and I can share my notes with you too if you want. But again, it was a nice victory for you. It was a 15-point victory, and came out really well for you.
That was a good way to start our home season off after playing Fergus, and that's just a tough one. But the boys came back ready to go against Battle Lake.
Yep.
And we just had a lot of guys step up. We actually had 7 guys in the scoring column, which is good to see. And really had that was kind of one of the first games Aiden Sanchez has rebounded quite like we know he can. And we saw it again last night. But he's had a couple double-doubles and is a freshman point guard. That doesn't happen a whole lot, which is great for us. We need it. And then Bo Byer and Jacob Kunkel, 2 of our seniors, they've stepped up big time and are in double digits basically every game. And
yeah, they both had a good game against Battle Lake too as well. You know, you had the nice lead at halftime. It was close early the way it sounded, but I think they came back and cut it back to 5 there partway through the second half, and then the Cowboys stretched it out again, like you said, led by Bo Byer, Jacob Kunkel, and Aiden Sanchez. So
we were up big at halftime, and then kind of our offense stalled, and then our defense kind of stalled on top of it, and we couldn't get enough stops to get to really pull away like we knew we could. So it got a little close there to 5. But then one thing that really I like to see that we hadn't seen a lot of last year is even when a team made a run, we responded pretty well and then got it back to a 15-point lead, which that was good to see. Battle Lake was a little shorthanded. They'll be better going down the stretch, which is huge for us in QRF points. Because once they all get healthy, they're going to rip off quite a few wins, I would imagine.
All right, so now let's fast forward now to last night, excuse me, and I was able to call that game. Raleigh was tied up with other things, but it was a close first half. It was a 1-point first half. Cowboys with the lead. What'd you tell the boys going in at halftime? I mean, just can you say it on the air? Or?
I can say some of it on the air. I'll say that. Cooper Roberts, I got to give that kid credit because I really got after him at the end of the half. He missed a box out as the time was expiring, and the kid puts in a layup, and we had harped on rebounding all week.
That's
and
right.
He knew. He looked over the bench. He's like, "Oh man, that's not."
I'm going to hear that one.
And but he responded in the second half and had a great second half, and that was great to see. I mean, he's a kid that's going to help us a lot this year, and for him to respond like that is a huge step.
Well, I'm going to get ahead of myself a little bit here, Coach, because it was a nice overtime victory here, 66-59. But being you brought up Cooper here, let's talk about his play in that overtime. I mean, I think I had him down for 6 points in the overtime, and 4 of them he was 4 for 4 from the stripe.
He had 6 points in overtime, and then 4 free throws to put him away. And we had some young kids, step up and make free throws. And
I want to talk about those guys, too.
They had never been in that scenario before. But for Cooper to do that, and the way he did it and got to the line a couple of times, it was good to see. We've been on him a lot about finishing off 2 feet. and he is starting to do that, and it's going to pay off because he's going to draw fouls, and he is a good free throw shooter, obviously. So
all right, and of course we can talk about Aiden Sanchez and the great game he had. Another double-double, 22 points. He was approaching 10 rebounds in the first half, I think, wasn't he? Or you
he
probably don't
was
know.
close. Our stat guys had him, I think, at like 8 in the first half or 9. It was close to that, so he was almost a double-double at halftime.
Yep.
I really can't say enough about getting him to rebound as hard as he has so far this year. And even on the offensive glass, I think 2 of his fouls were him crashing the offensive glass.
Yep.
We're like, dude, we need you on the floor.
Yeah.
So let's cut that out. You can't be fouling out.
Unfortunately, you lost Caleb Albertson in foul trouble before the end of regulation, and then Aiden fouled out in overtime. But let's talk about those young guys that came in for those 2 guys. You had Connor Ernst come in and give you some big minutes and a couple of big free throws for the youngster. CJ came in. CJ Bernard came in and gave you some good time too as well on the floor, and just all around well game by those 2 guys.
That was good to see. CJ had been sick on Monday. He had started the first 3 games for us and been playing pretty well. And then for him the way the game was shaking out, he didn't probably play as much as he normally would with being sick and everything. And then came in pretty cold off the bench, hadn't played a whole lot, and got on the floor, dove on a loose ball, and then got it to Cooper. And Cooper got a layup to, I think, stretch our lead a little bit, and it was a big spot. And then Connor Ernst, I wasn't really planning on throwing him in until Aiden picks up that foul. And in practice, Connor's been a really good on-ball defender. And we're like, well, he's probably our best shot to stay in front of number 10 right now, their point guard. And Connor responded pretty well, and then gets fouled on a cut to the basket and sinks 2 free throws. And for a freshman to do that, who probably he was not expecting to play, I don't think, at all.
Yeah.
And it was good to see.
Good to see. It was fun to see that too as well. And I forgot fans. I personally got to apologize to the fans when I did my summarization last night after the game and the post game show. I said there was only 5 in the scoring column, but I forgot to look for CJ and Connor's points. So I apologize to the fans when I did the post game show last night. So I missed a couple. But anyway,
that's
Connor,
all right.
Connor had a great game. CJ Bernard had a great game. All right. Talk about, now this is something new for you this year, the shot clock. Talk about now maybe in the Battle 8 game it didn't come into play as much when it's a 15-point game. Now you're getting down to regulation and the score is close, and then it gets obviously into overtime. They bank in a 3-pointer on you. The shot clock is turned off by then, of course. But did you do anything different as a coach that you saw yourself doing with that 30-second shot or 35-second shot clock? Or did you just do your normal thing?
Well, there's
you
a
gotta
couple
keep an eye on it.
things. There's a couple things that are different. Like, honestly, we would have stalled a little bit going down the stretch of that game
I made that
last
comment
night,
on the air.
and we couldn't. And it was funny because the other coach, I know him pretty well. We've been coaching against each other for a while, and he's yelling at his players, "They got to shoot it. They got to shoot it."
Yeah.
So that we did end up, I think, scoring on that play, but it changes the game a little bit, and more on the defensive end. Something that I'd need to work with my guys on is understand, okay, there's 4 seconds left on the shot clock. Get your hands up.
Yep.
What are they going to do? They're not going to do anything but shoot it.
Yep.
And there's been so many times so far this year where I'm just like, oh no, put your hands up. They can't, and then hands are down and they get a shot off when they shouldn't probably get a shot off.
Are you practicing it in practice, during your after-school practices? Do you practice
Not as much as we should as on the offensive side of the ball.
Coming.
We're doing some stuff with put 35 seconds on the clock and then do points per possession on defense. We just started doing that.
Okay.
Which that's kind of nice to see, but that was more of us testing our zone defense more or less than doing anything other than that. But it's just like a half court kind of thing that we've been doing and putting a shot clock up. But it doesn't super affect us, I don't think, because last year we played pretty quick, and I'm going to be honest, high school kids struggled to move the ball well enough to get it to get it reversed 3 or 4 times versus where college teams can do a little bit more of that, and we don't have the attention span to get down that far in the shot clock without shooting it or turning it over.
I didn't hear the opposing coach, what's his name, Roos?
Yep.
I did not hear him say that or yell that to his players. But I think I mentioned it on the air at that point in time. I know exactly the point in time that you're talking about it. I said, here's where, without the 35-second clock, you would see Breckenridge stalling and just kind of passing the ball around. But you can't do that. So,
and I think it's good for the game too. Like it makes kids.
absolutely.
You got to play the game. You can't just sit on the ball. And I think it is a good thing, and I really do like it because if you can throw some different defensive looks at teams and confuse them, all of a sudden you're at 20 seconds on the shot clock and you only got to guard for 20 seconds versus guarding for when you play perm back in the day in 2 minutes sometimes.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. All right, Coach, you got Barnesville coming up on Thursday night, and the Battle of Highway 9 continues, and it's a new season. What do you expect to see out of Barnesville?
Well, you know
they got a good
gonna
football team.
You know they're going to be physical.
Yep.
Like they make no bones about it. They lift 4 days a week year round, and they let people know. And they're going to be physical. I don't know if they're fully healthy. There's a little bit of speculation there on who's going to end up suiting up for them. They did lose one starter, I think, for the season due to football.
Okay.
But I think it's going to be a fun game. We just got to be, our big thing is going to have to be strong with the ball. They're a physical team, and Fergus and a little bit of Frazee, we were too loose with the ball. And now playing what is going to be a much more physical opponent than Border West, we got to ratchet that up a little bit tomorrow.
Yeah, your second HOL game, correct?
Yep.
So, again, a better start for the Cowboys right now. They're 2-2 overall, 2-1 in this section. So congratulations on that. And you're already halfway to last year's season total wins. So we're there, man.
We'll take it.
Absolutely. Let's move on and get some more. And hopefully tomorrow night against the Barnesville Trojans.
That would be a super fun one for our kids to get. And I think they'll be ready. I'm really expecting a big one out of Jacob Kunkel, I think, tomorrow.
We didn't talk about him. I did want to say that about him, too, as well. I mean, he had a nice game in the paint. He likes, man, the kid can fly.
Oh, he can jump. And we've been working on him. Just be simple.
Yep.
Like, you don't need to fake and do all these things. You're going to out-jump kids. And if you can get to your left shoulder, right hand, do it. And just go until they take it away. Then you can figure out your counter after that.
Okay, was there a plan on the tip? Was there a planned alley-oop to him to try and the opening tip?
Yeah, it's not an oop. We would tell him to come down with it unless he's really feeling bouncy in warm-ups. we just come down with that one.
I so wanted to see that last night. That would have been pretty cool. All right, B-Dub, you and I are going to be there tomorrow night, Brian, and we'll have that game on Three Borders.
It should be a good one. The last couple have been pretty good.
Yeah, I think so.
It's a rivalry, so rivalry games are always good. So I'm looking forward to it.
It'll be fun. We'll be ready to go.
All right. We're looking forward to it as well, and we'll have that game. Scheduled tip is 7:30, so our pregame show will come on about 7:15ish, give or take a few minutes, depending on how long the JV goes. And
it is Parents' Night tomorrow, so that it'll extend
throw us back
about
a little bit.
5 minutes probably.
They do that in between the JV and warm-ups?
Right after the JV game, we'll get, as soon as C Squad parents get over there, we'll do that, and the boys are going to end up writing a little card to their parents. And
that's pretty cool.
Yep.
All right, don't forget now we got the Comdale Innovation Play of the Week coming up here. We haven't done that yet for this year, so we got that
coming up. First one of the winners, so it should be good.
So we'll turn Jordan loose, and again, Jordan, thanks and good luck again tomorrow night. We'll see you tomorrow night, bud.
We'll see you tomorrow.
All right, Jordan Christensen, head coach of the Cowboys basketball squad, and we're going to have Coach Brian Watson, head coach of the Lady Huskies, right after this.
Mindak Farmers Cooperative is owned by nearly 500 sugar beet growers and has a rich history of sweetening life in the Red River Valley. Join Mindak's team today. In addition to an excellent pay and benefits package, they are currently offering a $2,000 sign-on bonus for all full-time positions, which includes sugar loader, packager helper, extra gang, and yard person helper. Entry level starting at $19.78 per hour, plus a $3 per hour shift differential. Apply online at mdf.coop/careers or contact Zane 701-671-7777.
No matter what time of year, a farmer's relationship with Red River Grain Hefty Seed never changes. Red River Grain Hefty Seed works shoulder to shoulder with area farmers to attain the highest possible profit for you. Red River Grain Hefty Seed has been saving farmers money for years. For all your grain and agronomy needs, stop in or call the friendly staff at 643-3738 or visit them online at redrivergrain.com.
Here at the Amanda Frederick State Farm Agency, we do our best to make insurance a little less insurance-y for you. Hi, this is Amanda, your local State Farm agent. You've probably seen our team out and about volunteering in the community, participating in local events, and just doing our all-around best to support and encourage a healthy, vibrant community. Stop into our office sometime and find out why we've been consistently voted best insurance agency in the Valley and why State Farm has been a trusted household name in insurance for 100 years. We hope to meet you soon.
At OSPTI, our focus is on each individual's therapy needs, whether it be for speech, occupational, or physical therapy services. I'm Becky, a physical therapist at OSPTI, and I love being able to provide that personal care to each person that we see with clinics in Breckenridge, Hankinson, and Fergus Falls. You don't have to travel very far from home. From infants to athletes to adults, you can request OSPTI to meet your therapy goals.
Any bank can tell you they have a rock-solid commitment to agriculture. Bell can prove it. To this day, every Bell Bank branch is partially built with rocks we've picked from our founder's farm. But our roots in ag have grown more than a few offices. They've shaped who we are and formed our entire approach to banking. Let us prove it to you as you grow your farm and prepare your legacy for the next generation. Bell Bank, committed to ag. In Wahpeton, talk to Rick Steckler.
Your business depends on...
All right, welcome back to the Coaches Show presented by Giant Seeds and Snacks and also brought to you by Red River Communications, Cable Channel 28. And I got to give a quick shout out to our buddy Chad Affield. There, he's tuned in watching it at home tonight.
He says he likes the jersey.
He did not.
He did. He said nice jersey.
No, he didn't.
He did.
Didn't say that on mine.
Mad respect. Chad. He knows.
Yeah, he knows all right. Oh my! All right, Chad. I'm sure you did. We'll give B-Dub some credit on that. All right, time to interview now our coach, our head coach of the Lady Huskies basketball squad, and that is my partner here is Brian Watson. B-Dub, thanks for joining the show here, and thanks for producing and doing all the other things you do wearing the hats.
It's a lot to produce, direct, and then now I got to be a guest.
Now you got to be a coach.
Yeah. I wear a lot of hats.
Look at you go.
I know, right?
Well, that's why you get the nice chair and the nice microphone.
Nice chair, nice microphone, nice jersey.
God.
I'm not going to leave it alone.
I know.
Well, six trophies
we'll see
compared
what I wear
to zero
after.
trophies.
We'll see what I wear after.
Is pretty
the first
good.
Of the year.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
I'm not going there.
All right. I'll be a guest now.
All right. Let's do that. Let's talk to Brian Watson, head coach of the Lady Huskies. B-Dub, a little bit of a rough start here for the Lady Huskies. And by the way, before we get into it, you're entering your 14th season here as coach.
Yeah, it's been a long time. It's gone by pretty
years.
fast though, too. I mean, that's for one thing.
I don't know how you could do that when you're only 29 years old.
Right? I don't know. I started young.
Yeah,
I
you
guess.
must have.
Yeah.
14 years you've been head coach of the Lady Huskies, and B-Dub, again, you saw this season coming. Let's talk about, first of all, and you and I have talked about on the pregame show interviews that we do during basketball games here that we've had for the Lady Huskies. But let's tell the folks here on the Coaches Show what your thoughts are on the new Division A that you've got and that you're playing in, first of all, before we get started?
Well, right now I don't like it very well. But overall, I do. I like it. I think it's good for us. I think it's good for basketball in general in the state as far as competition goes. And you can see already in Division A, the games that we've had, that we've been competitive in each one of the games. And I think that's the biggest thing, is that these games are going to be competitive. I think there's some old Class B'ers that think that some of the larger schools or schools that were former Class A are just going to walk through this thing. And, well, we're finding it out pretty quick that that's not going to be the way that things go. And I tried to explain that to a lot of people that I talked to early on. I said, listen, these teams that we're playing against, they're very good. And if anyone thinks that, there's going to be a Class A team that's just going to walk through this thing, or a former Class A team that's going to walk through this thing, I think they're nuts. And, for us out of the box, it's been difficult. We played some really good teams, and you have to play good basketball all the way through. There are games in the EDC where, talent-wise, we don't have the talent to match up, so you just play the game. Well, you can't just play the game anymore.
No.
You have to play the game to win the game. You're going to be in games. You have to do things that will help you win the game. And I think right now, we're struggling a little bit with take care of the ball, and we have to be able to do that. And if we're able to right the ship as far as turnovers go, I think we'll find ourselves in the mix a little bit.
I think one of the biggest things, good or bad, it was nice to get the votes. It was nice to get the attention. It was a preseason poll, and Wahpeton the girls were picked 2 in the state, and then
yeah, but that's all based on that. Like, nobody knows.
Right.
That's all
that's
based
what I'm trying to
on.
say.
They take a look at us being, a former Class A team and some of the players that we have, but I don't think they looked at what we lost.
And of course, you've got the injury with Latea is out for the season.
There's
so
lots
that's
of
part
things
of it.
that have
we can
happened
make
to our
excuses,
team.
but
Well,
that's
no,
not what you're about either.
I'm not saying.
No.
I don't think that we were rightfully ranked, to be honest. I don't. I think there are too many good teams that are out there. And we saw one of them out in Minot, in South Prairie, and then we got to see Thompson play, and unfortunately we didn't get to play them because of weather. And then we also got to see Bottineau play, and those are 3 teams that are in the top rankings right now, of a Division A. And
Thompson's 1, Bottineau's 4, and South Prairie's 3.
Yeah, and South Prairie beat us, Bottineau beat Devils Lake. So you can throw your old Class A theory right out the window.
Yep.
At least on the girls' side, we know that Devils Lake boys are very good, but that's an anomaly. I don't, that's a one-off. These things go in cycles. So I just think that this is right for the state, and I think come tournament time, regardless of who's in the tournament, it's going to be a very good tournament on the girls' side, and there may not be an old Class A school in Division A tournament. I mean, who knows? It's going to be tough to get there. Our region is just loaded. So
well, let's take a look here. The Huskies are coming in here. The Lady Huskies are coming in at 1-4 right now, and again, the schedule doesn't let up. You just finished with Valley City last night, and then on Friday you head up to Four Winds, and you're going to take on a tough Four Winds up there.
Yeah, that's going to be a battle. It's a long road trip. We in the old days, we go to Devils Lake. Now, we go to Four Winds, and that's a little bit farther than Devils Lake, and Devils Lake's going to come here this year. But it's going to be a tough game. That team's scrappy. They gave Thompson a pretty good game. I think they lost by 14 at Thompson. But a good team that's going to be scrappy. And like I said, if we don't take care of the ball, it's going to be tough for us to be in a lot of games, and this team's going to come after us, and we're going to have to be able to take care of the basketball. We're going to have to be able to execute and make some of our easy shots. And if we can do that, I think we can be okay. But again, this is going to be a game. There are no games that we're going to walk into. We're going to say, well, we'll be able to just walk in here and win. And I don't think there's any games where a visiting team, or the other team that we play is going to be able to say, we're just going to be able to walk right over them. I just think it's going to be good competitive basketball every single night.
And Jeff Ralph mentioned that too when he was talking about the Husky schedule, the boys. And, you take a look at the schedule you got on your other computer screen over there. I mean, there's some tough games out there. But right now, when you look at what you've done here, you're 1-4. But you could have, me as a prognosticator, announcer guy, I can say, you know what? I think you guys you could easily be 3-2, if not even 4-1.
Oh, for sure. Again, it's about taking care of the basketball. And if we're able to, to do that, and I think, we have girls with experience, but we don't have girls with a lot of floor time in certain positions. It's different now. So, we lose 3 girls, 2 of who were starters, one that had the ball in her hands about 90% of the time, and one that could score, rebound, and do a lot of different things. Well, now you replace them with players that didn't. They spent time on the floor, but it wasn't a lot of time on the floor. It's like, okay, I need you to go in for 3 minutes, and I need you to just play solid. You get an open shot, you take it. Don't turn over the ball. They don't have to have the ball as much, things like that.
Yep.
Well, now there's these girls are playing, and now they have to have the ball.
Yep.
And they're not used to having the ball, and it's just a matter of wanting the ball and understanding what you need to do once you get it. And I think it'll come once we kind of settle down and understand our role, understand the players that we're playing with and how we play together, those type of things. I think that'll come, but we're going to need to fix it pretty quick. The one nice thing is that we do have some of these games that are out of region that we've really never had before. Before we played all of our EDC games, and we got one game out of the EDC, and that was against Breck. Well, now we get, we went out to Minot, played 2 games there. Those don't count against our region. We were going to play Thompson. That doesn't count against the region. So we're going to play 4 wins. There are games that are out there that we can kind of try and fix some of these things, and then hopefully when we get back to region games, we can try and pick up some wins and get back in the mix. So, but that's kind of our focus now. Go try and play some good basketball, and then when we get back in the region, we've got to try and put everything together and see if we can muster a win.
Yeah, you got one more game before Christmas. Besides the 4 wins game on Friday, you got Lisbon at home on the 21st. So.
Yeah, and another tough opponent for us. I went and watched them play Northern Cass here this week, and they had Northern Cass, who I believe is the best team in Region 1. They had Northern Cass they were only down 2 at half.
Wow.
So, a good first half of basketball for them, and they just didn't. They turned it over a little bit too much in the third quarter, and didn't make some of the shots, the open shots that they had in the first half. They were draining open shots, and the game just kind of got away from them. But for a half of basketball, they were toe and toe with one of the best teams, I think, in the region, and I think one of the best teams in the state in Northern Cass.
All right, let's take a look quick before we break here, and we'll talk quickly about some of your seniors, some of the players on the team. We haven't mentioned any names yet other than Latea out with the injury, but some of your seniors.
We've got 2 seniors that are on the roster playing. We got 1 senior that is injured, and then we have a couple seniors that are on the team that are playing JV. But the seniors that are playing varsity, Amaya Max and Leah DeVries, both have varsity experience. And then Brooklyn Smith is out with an injury. But, we need, those 2 seniors to really step up and kind of take a leadership role and see if they can, kind of get the girls to rally behind them and kind of lead this team down the road. And we have some games to do that. And that's what I'm looking for from them, and I'm hoping that they can do it. Of course, we have Scout Woods back, All-Stater returning, and we look for her to do a lot of things. I think that a lot of people look at our team and they expect her to do a lot of things, and we need that All-State performance every night. We've gotten it a couple times, but we certainly need that every single night.
And some underclassmen.
Yeah, and then we got some younger girls that are stepping into play. Olivia Hansen is starting right now and stepping in play. She's a junior. We're getting minutes from Sienna Fobb, who's a freshman, Hallie Miller, who's a junior, and then we've got some younger girls that may step in from time to time. 8th grader in Claire Woods, who's played some minutes here and done some things. So it's just a matter of trying to put it all together. Claire Langenwalter has played, and Cambry Mount as well has seen some time on the floor. So we've got a good mix of girls, and it's just a matter of trying to find that right combination of who fits well together, who can work well together, and then see if we can find somebody to be that floor general that we need in order to be successful.
Well, hopefully it comes this weekend here at Four Winds, Minnewacan, and that game is at the Four Winds location, correct?
That game is at Four Winds.
Yeah. Not at Minnewacan. So
no, it's at Four Winds High School.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Anything else there you want to throw in there, Coach?
No, it's been an interesting start to the season, and I'm just looking forward to trying to get through this season and get better with each game, and then hopefully down the stretch we're ready to play some playoff basketball.
That's what it counts. So we'll have to keep an eye on the Lady Huskies. I expect to see better things coming here for the Lady Huskies. Don't take that 1-4 record as the way it's going to end up for the girls. They're going to improve as the season goes along. So, all right, B-Dub, put your producer hat back on, and you're my business partner again. And we got the Comdale Innovation Play of the Week coming up, I think. And we'll take a break, and then we'll come back and do that.
We're going to take a break and then come back and do that.
All right, let's take a break. We're going to take a break. We'll take a quick break, and we'll come back after the commercials, and we'll have the Comdale Innovation Play of the Week right after this on Three Borders Sports Network.
Technology. Digital Guru provides professional IT solutions you can trust to keep it moving forward. From redesigning existing systems to brand new builds, we offer your business managed IT services, including backups, cybersecurity, cloud services, remote desk support, and more. And don't forget, we also provide audio, video, security camera, and door access control installation. Focus on what you do best and leave the technology to the professionals. Contact Digital Guru today.
Sometimes it's tough being a dad. Kids grow up fast. Hey girls, oh, love it.
Dad, what are you doing?
I'm TikToking.
Is he serious?
Don't even want me around anymore. You know when I first started noticing it? When I stopped getting hugs. Hugs mean a lot to a dad. So, with Command IQ, I found a way to get the hugs back. Watch.
Dad, the Wi-Fi is down.
Oh, let me see if I can fix it.
It's back. Thanks, Dad. You're the best.
With Command IQ, you can bring the hugs back.
No matter the time.
All right, welcome back to the Coaches Show, presented by Giant Seeds and Snacks. Thank you for being our Coaches Show sponsor, to Giant Seeds and Snacks, and also to Red River Communications, Cable Channel 28. Hugs are always good there, according to the commercial.
According to the commercial.
All right, hugs are always good. Hey, we got a busy rest of the week here, buddy. As we said earlier in our interview with Jordan a few minutes ago, we got Cowboy basketball taking on the Barnesville Trojans tomorrow night, and it's parent night, so we might be a little late with our get-go tomorrow night, but we'll have some Cowboys and Trojans basketball.
I think that's going to be a really good game.
Yep.
I really do. I'm looking forward to that.
All right, then on Friday, we've got the Cowgirls taking on DGF.
DGF.
Yeah.
Another good game.
You won't be there.
I will not be. I'll be on a bus on my way up north.
We just talked about that. Yeah. So, the Cowgirls will be taking on DGF, and I'll have that game over there along with the Yards. And Raleigh's out of town, so I'll be swinging alone.
Yeah, you guys will have to put in a little time, and then I'll be back on Saturday.
Yeah.
For the Huskies and Four Winds boys game.
Right. I've got a previous commitment, so you got to do that one yourself, and I appreciate you taking over that one there to be there without me.
I get a little help from Chad.
We might have to ask Chad to help you.
Yep.
Chad might be there just to give you a little moral
maybe
support.
Maybe we'll get him a Steelers jersey. He can wear that to the game.
Oh, God. Well, at least he won't be on air with it.
Well, I mean, I could flip the camera around.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I mean, hey, I'm the mad producer.
And then Tuesday, the 19th, again, we've got Lisbon. The Wahpeton boys are hosting Lisbon on Tuesday next week. And then also on Tuesday next week, Raleigh will have the Breckenridge and Lake Park.
Yeah, we'll have 2 games
Cowboys
going on
the 19th.
on the YouTube channel there, so it'll be good.
Yeah, so there's the upcoming schedule. And before we break for our Comdale Innovation Play of the Week, B-Dub, we want to wish everybody a happy and safe holiday season.
Yeah, we do. Happy holidays to everyone, and hopefully you'll take in some sports on Three Borders, and we'll have a great New Year.
Yeah, so happy holidays from Three Borders Sports Network, everybody, and thanks to all of our sponsors. Make sure you tell our sponsors thank you, too, as well, because without them, we couldn't be here. So we want to thank all of our sponsors, of course, and they're all listed on our webpage. Our premier sponsors are on there. And if you're interested in doing some sponsorship on Three Borders, let us know. So our email address is on there as well.
Right.
All right, buddy. Again, happy holidays from all of us, Raleigh and Julie included, Yards and Chad helps us out once in a while. We all wish you happy holidays and be safe, everybody. All right, buddy, our play of the week, Comdale Innovation. Let us show you how we can deliver your next project faster and better from Comdale. It's going to be a fun one. It's one that we haven't had a sport of this nature yet.
No, we had to go. We went back a little bit, but I thought it was very fitting.
It did. It was
for
very,
this to be the play of the week. So
very, very special time here. It happened on November 30th. And with that said, I'm going to introduce our Comdale Innovation Play of the Week, and we will say goodnight, everybody. Here is the Comdale Innovation Play of the Week.
And the breakaway, nice move and a score for Jackson Lopez. Nice move there, B-Dub. He kind of did the old shake and bake.
Yeah, Jackson with another opportunity there and able to put that one in the net, and the crowd goes crazy here. And the first home goal for the Blaze.